So I know you see a lot of videos on the internet and they're either very bodybuilding based or they're very CrossFit based, or when it comes to stretching, most of them are very yoga based. So the guys show you the stretching for guys like us who just go to the gym and want to lift weights and heavy weights and want to be strong and look good. There's not a lot of stretching videos out there, so I thought I might as well give you guys the stretches that I do. So today I just train chest and triceps and a little bit of shoulders. So what I normally do is I normally come over to a squat rack, and I'm standing in the squat rack right now, but I'm not going to be squatting. So I like to aim up quite high to start with, and I'll use this as a gauge to not step over the line. And then what I'm going to do here is turn my body to the side, so I'm facing this way. So my hips and everything is now facing this way. My arm is up here, and I'm just going to lean into the stretch. I'm not trying to exaggerate this stretch. I'm just going to trying to feel a nice stretch in my pec over here. And I normally push into this about 4 or 5 times, usually about 30 seconds. And then what I do is I move down, so I'm in line with my shoulder now. Same again, about 4 or 5 times. I just lean into it, really try and exaggerate that stretch. On like the 4th or the 5th time, I really push into it more, and then I go down one more, further down again. Sometimes it might feel a little bit awkward if you're doing this for the first time, but it's got to be done, and it feels amazing afterwards. Stretching's always a bit of a weird thing. Obviously don't stretch to the point of pain, but you want to feel a little bit of like uncomfortableness. That's what I'm going to say. Not pain, but it shouldn't be comfy. You shouldn't be like, oh, this feels nice. No, no, no. It should feel a little bit hard. Okay, and then you switch to the other side. So now this usually gets a little bit dull. So same again. I'm just going to push into it again. I'm not going to show you the whole couple of seconds of me doing it. It'll get a little bit boring, so I'm just going to do the top, just for this side, just for demonstration purposes. And remember, my hips are facing this way. So just push into that a little bit more. And then further down. Okay, so that's my chest done. And because I did a little bit of shoulders as well, I will just cross my arm over the body like this. Oh, I see, I'm really feeling this one today. I'll just show you how that is. It doesn't have to be straight. It doesn't have to be bang on. And then what I do is I normally just, as you can see, I'm moving. I don't know if you guys can hear me because of the mics there. I'm kind of hugging the mic. I'll just move it around. Just get my rotator cuff, pull it out. I know this yoga guys will probably watch this, or people that do a lot of stretching and think, what is this guy doing? But let me tell you something about this kind of stretching. I've been doing these stretches for the past 20 years. Probably longer. I learned these very early on. Luckily for me, I learned these very early on, and now you guys are lucky for me to be passing you this information on, free of charge as well. Just hit the subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. Now, the reason why I'm boasting about these exercises, oh God, that feels good. The reason why I'm boasting about it is because, touch wood, I've never been injured. And I credit it down to 2 things. Number 1, my warm-up, which you guys have already seen. I've actually put a reel out there of my warm-up. If you want the full video on YouTube, I think there's going to be one coming as well. I have recorded it. I'm probably going to load this one up first. In fact, you know what? I shouldn't have said that, but you know, I'm not going to cut it out. You know my point. You know how it is at the minute. Content's all over the place. But the shoulder warm-up is coming, and this is the cool down. So the 2 things that I credit to my shoulder health to is this, and I train in the full range of motion. So maybe 3. So those 3 things. Put them 3 things together, gives you very healthy shoulders. And then now after that, shake it off a little bit, because sometimes that does feel a little bit tight. And I've done triceps as well, so I'm going to stretch my triceps. Now, same again, just lean into it, just like that. You don't have to over-exaggerate this motion, just fall into it, and wherever it lands, it just lands there. And you can, if you see, I'll show you on the other side, on where my hand is on the back, you'll see it. I'm just trying with my hand to crawl down my back. That's it. And you could say this is a bit of a lazy way of doing it. If you don't have a squat rack, the other thing you could do is use your other arm. And I'm sure most of us were taught that in school. So you could do this as well. This is another way to do a good stretch for your triceps. Now, After doing that, I'll just find a bar like this and I will just hang from it. Now, I always do this every single morning, so this is just doubling up today. I always do this stretch every morning, and I do this stretch after shoulders and when I'm training chest. So any pushing movements, I do this stretch, and also when I'm doing back as well, and also when I'm doing legs. So every single day, hanging, get used to hanging. Get yourself used to hanging. This is something that you should be very natural at doing. It should feel very comfortable, it should feel very normal. Like most guys out there can't hang for 2 minutes. Try it. Try hanging for 2 minutes, see what happens. Obviously don't do it on the first shot, but what I tend to do is normally do like 2 sets of 30 seconds and just be very comfortable in this. Don't be straining yourself. If you start shaking and stuff like that, don't do none of that. What you can do as it starts getting advanced is you can start rocking side to side, just a little bit. But remember, not to start with. As you start getting advanced, you can do this. But for now, just feel nice and comfortable. Just relax in this. Just let your shoulders hang out. Just chill. Let all your body loosen up. You've just done a heavy session, let everything loosen up. Now, that's 1 round. So I normally do, after every time I do any pushing exercises, I do 2 rounds of that. So for chest and shoulders, 2 rounds of these stretches after every single workout.